Well, it's been a cracking round of A-League men's action. 19 goals across 5 matches. And we round out the month of January with the league leaders Melbourne City up against Adelaide United here at Amy Park. And this fixture is one that averages almost 3 goals a game, so we could be set for more drama. Melbourne City will have been delighted with the draw between the Mariners and the Wanderers last night. That offers them the chance to move 7 points clear at the top if they can win today. But of course they have had a minor stutter, drawing their last 2, but they haven't gone without a win in 3 matches in 12 months. So I expect them to be firing on all cylinders today. As for Adelaide, they toughed it out to beat Macca last week. They are really yet to hit their pre-World Cup heights, and they have won just once on the road this season. That was against Western United, but they will have revenge on their minds. That after City knocked them out of the finals in extra time at this venue last season. Lifting trophies this season for Melbourne City, of course, it's become the norm. And here is their 11 today. A couple of changes. Rado Vidicic restores Callum Talbot and the fit-again Jordan Boss to the 2 fullback positions and relegates Scott Galloway and Scott Jamieson back down to the bench. Jamie McLaren is without a goal in his last 2 games. He hasn't gone 3 without scoring since 2020. He does have 13 for the season though, and 13 in 22 matches against the Reds. Matt Leckie is up against his first A-League employers. He is yet to score against them in 5 appearances. Now, interesting team news for the Reds, 3 changes, and it's another switch in the heart of defence with the returning Alexander Popovic and Isaias paired together, with Ben Warland suspended, Lockie Barr still out, and Nick Ansell relegated down to the bench. The other change sees George Blackwood come in for the out-of-form Hiroshi Ibasuki, who is without a goal in 7 games. Craig Goodwin's next strike will be his 50th for the Reds in all competitions. Rado Vidicic has only ever coached against Adelaide the once. That was with Brisbane in November 2012, when the Reds came away from Suncorp with a 1-0 win. The scorer that day was Rado's own son, Dario Vidicic, now of course in charge of City's women's team. Our referee today, Adam Kersey, his 76th game in the middle in the A-League men's. So let's hope we get the sort of drama we've seen right across the weekend. Melbourne City kick us off the final match of round 14, and the perennial A-League pace setters looking to open up a sizable gap at the top. And I guess Grace Gill, they must be the favourites to do so today.
Thanks, Simon, and I dare say that's right. Melbourne City, the talent, that attacking outlet that they do have at the top of the park is a really tough one for opposition, and the result this afternoon would put them in a very comfortable position at the top of the table.
Oh, miscue by Tilio could open the door here for Adelaide. Blackwood, 1-0. Extraordinary. 34 seconds on my watch. A terrible mistake by City inside their own penalty area, and George Blackwood, restored to the starting 11 today, has pounced.
And there we were, just waxing lyrical on the Harvey Norman replay about Melbourne City's attack, but Tilio can't get the clearance on the first time of asking, and Blackwood, who has come into the side for Ibasuki today, fires from in the first 30 seconds to get Adelaide underway.
Well, what an unbelievable start to this game. Marco Tilio's been in such good form, completely missing his kick, then losing his footing, and Blackwood was teed up by Ethan Alagic, and he couldn't miss. Wow. Barisha, Adelaide sat very deep. Tilio trying to force his way through. It's Marco Tilio and Joe Gauci with a big save. Tilio almost making amends for that error.
There is Joe Gauci once again making himself big in a big occasion for Adelaide, and what a vein of form he's in at the moment. Marco Tilio desperate to make amends for that early error, and he came close.
Joe Gauci's been talked about in terms of Socceroos conversations over the last week, particularly after his showing against Macarthur, where he was sensational. McLaren couldn't quite control it. O'Neill, and here's Van der Ven, and it took a heavy deflection. And it's going to be another City corner.
That's better from City. Really good passes around the edge of the box, and once again Tilio looking to create. Jamie McLaren would have liked that one to drop just moments earlier where he was in a really good position. The shot Van der Ven got away, had a bit of venom behind it.
Jamie McLaren, who's trimmed that beard after going a couple of games without a goal, said he wouldn't shave it whilst his streak was hot. Near post, 1-1. Thomas Lamb, first goal in Melbourne City blue, and the league leaders tie it up. Nobody picked up that run at the near post, and he beat Gauci, and we're all square.
Well, it didn't take the ladder leaders too long in the Harvey Norman replay. It's a great delivery in, and the arrival from Thomas Lamb and the near post was inch perfect. That's a brilliant header, knocked home, and Gauci, nothing he can do on that occasion.
Well, he out-jumps both Craig Goodwin and George Blackwood at that near post. Goes to celebrate with Valon Berisha, who claims his first assist, would you believe, in City blue. Might be another one here. Goodwin finding Halloran, and he took it nicely. And Tom Glover is forced to parry over the crossbar and behind for a corner.
Well, we've been treated to a couple of really quality early strikes. Halloran has hit that sweetly, and Tom Glover does all he can just to steer that one away from the frame of the goal, but Halloran has got behind that shot nicely.
Goodwin's corner, there's another one! Ryan Kitto, just his second of the season. Incredible. And again, it's a set piece. Melbourne City score from a corner, and Adelaide say, we can do that too. 2-1 for the Reds.
Well, what an opening passage here this afternoon, and a delightful finish from Kitto. As we have a look on the Harvey Norman replay, unsurprisingly, the delivery from Craig Goodwin is yet again exquisite. That timing. Kitto has just held his ground really well. He didn't have to actually leave the ground to connect with that one. But again, Adelaide off a set piece. They do love a set piece, and they're back in the lead.
That's that little flick on at the near post by Javi Lopez. No wonder he gets some congratulations from Craig Goodwin. Ryan Kitto getting the plaudits for his tidy finish as well. Adelaide with their noses in front, but for how long? Here's Talbot. Tilio. Going back post for Leckie, and Van der Ven, and Joe Gauci again. Another big, big save by the Reds custodian.
That's class by Joe Gauci. A little right shake of the head from Van der Ven. The delivery, far post, is quality from Tilio. And the nod back even more so from Leckie, but Richie Van der Ven is asking how that hasn't gone in. It's a brilliant save.
Van der Ven, I think, trying to pull out there. He wasn't going to get there. Head of Dorigo. Halloran. Another searching ball into the box, and Talbot again has to see it behind.
Adelaide are threatening, and again Halloran with a good early run. That ball through was weighted perfectly, and nice cross into the box as well. Adelaide on these set pieces are so dangerous.
Especially when you've got Craig Goodwin on set-piece duty. Near post, and Blackwood reached it. City having real trouble defending those corners. Now Blackwood's got a problem with the left knee. Oh, doesn't look good.
No, that's really concerning for Blackwood there. You can see he's not comfortable at all, and a few comforting shoulders from his teammates gathering around him.
Yeah, you can see that left leg, as he falls over his teammate, has hyperextended backwards. Oh dear. It's completely accidental contact with his own teammate, Ryan Kitto. But George Blackwood could be in a bit of trouble here. That's horrible. So Hiroshi Ibusuki was left on the bench today and is without a goal, as mentioned in his last 7 games. Gets the early call.
Well, when it is asked of the team, Carl Weert's in a good position to have a player like Ibusuki be able to come on with his quality, but yeah, that is a short day and a really disappointing one for George Blackwood.
He'll go off to have that injury assessed. Oh, that's a risky ball by Boss, and Craig Goodwin accepts the gift. Goodness me. 2 massive defensive errors in this first half by Melbourne City. One by Tilio, now by Boss. 2 of their best young stars this season, and Craig Goodwin was not going to miss from there. And Melbourne City have got a mountain to climb now. Craig Goodwin with his 6th of the season, and the Reds lead 3-1.
A calamitous error there by Melbourne City. And on the Harvey Norman replay, a gift, and a gift indeed. Craig Goodwin has read this so well. An easy left-footed finish, slammed into the back of the net. He won't get any easier than that this afternoon. And Jordan Boss, a shake of the head, and Adelaide United in a strong position going into the halftime break.
And that goal is Craig Goodwin's 50th in all competitions for Adelaide United. Can't get around Lopez. He's shut down by Van der Ven. Got a lucky ricochet there. Now they can look to stride forward through Ethan Alagich. He'll sweep it out towards Goodwin, and that is half-time. And Adelaide a little bit unhappy that they weren't able to complete that attack. Carl Weert throwing his arms up in disgust. But overall, he will be delighted with that first half display from his charges. The only cloud on the horizon, the injury to George Blackwood, who opened the scoring after just 34 seconds after an error from Marco Tilio. Ryan Kitto added a second after Thomas Lammard briefly squared the ledger for City. Craig Goodwin added a third after a Jordan Boss error. And he continues the arguments with referee Adam Kersey. They feel they should have been allowed to complete that attack, but the halftime whistle has blown, and Melbourne City, league leaders, just 1 loss all season, trail Adelaide United by 3-1 at the break. Let's see what City can do. They are unbeaten in 12 regular season home matches here at Amy Park. Although, of course, they did lose the grand final to Western United at this venue. Strangely enough, Greyskill, the last team to beat them in a regular season game at Amy Park was Adelaide, February 2022.
Well, it must be a good omen for the Reds. I mean, with that kind of confidence to know that they can take City on in their home turf, and unsurprising really to see those 2 changes at the break for City. Some fresh legs, a bit of intensity to come on and try and turn this one around.
And we thought we might see Florent Berenguer as well, but not for the moment. Van der Ven and Halloran have had a right old tussle between the 2 of them. There is Florent Berenguer, just slightly off camera, obscured by his 2 substitute colleagues, but I'm sure we will see him at some point. And in terms of comebacks, last time Melbourne City came from 2 goals down to get anything out of a game was against Western United in March of last year. They trailed 2-0 in that game. Leckie getting away from Lopez. Has Van der Ven in attendance, going to go himself, and he scores! Melbourne City back in it. Matt Leckie against his old club from a long way out. Joe Gauch will be disappointed. He's been beaten from there. But City have a sniff at 3-2.
Well, the comeback is on here on the Harvey Norman replay. And Matt Leckie, it's a great driving run, the good drop of the shoulder to open up on his preferred right foot. And he's hit that sweetly. Gauchi will be disappointed. An awkward bounce just under his body, but that's nicely hit from Matt Leckie.
The first time he's scored in 6 games against his former employers. Can't afford to sit too deep. And McLaren causing a bit of confusion between Popovic and Gauchi. And it's another City corner.
Well, Popovic had to commit to the challenge there. The communication from Gauchi was just a little bit too late, but you don't want to be in two minds, and the defender has done well.
Mauritius corner, near post, drops here for Andrew Nabbout, who volleyed it goalwards, and it took a touch off a defender. He's asking for handball, Andrew Nabbout. Adam Kersey's not interested in that, but it will be another corner. Although VAR are going to just have a little look at that. Not for too long. Here's the subsequent corner, which Lopez is underneath. Brought down by Boss. Aidan O'Neill. Looking for Leckie at the back post. Sort of got caught betwixt and between a bit there. Here's that effort from Andrew Nabbout. Well, I think the arms of Tony Lopez are well and truly tucked in. And that will give City the chance to make that change. Valon Berisha to be withdrawn. And Florent Berenguer to be introduced. Still without a goal, Valon Berisha for Melbourne City, but he has claimed his first assist today. That's opening goal for City anyway, for Thomas Lamb from his corner. And here's the Frenchman, who's missed the opening chunk of the season, of course, with that hamstring problem. And that brings the Adelaide fans to life, led by Redwig Steve.
Yeah, the team really taking the ascendancy through this
that's
passage.
A nasty one. That's a nasty one. The ball got away from Juande. Oof. That doesn't look particularly good, does it, for Juande? Yeah, Craig Goodwin is saying that's a break. The angle of Juande's leg looked horrible. And that's a really nasty injury for the Spaniard. We're going to have a lengthy delay here, I fancy. Berenguer needs treatment too. It was a ball that got away from the Spaniard. And in his attempts to retrieve it, he has sustained a really bad injury here.
Yeah, look, this is a really awful one here for Adelaide and Juande, and
that's horrible to see.
Terrible, and both sets of players just providing some support. You never like to see a teammate, let alone an opposition, one of your colleagues go down like that. A really awful moment.
And of course they will have to make sure that that leg is stable. Oh goodness me, I don't even want to look at that. That is horrible.
That's really, really hard to see. And look, I imagine Juande is perhaps in a bit of shock at the moment.
Well, I was about to say the same thing, because I'd be screaming the place down. And maybe he's just in shock. Anyway, they put the towels around the Spaniard now, which I think is good, because we don't really need to see that. Good to see the Melbourne City fans on their feet and applauding as well. Rivalry goes out the window in these moments, doesn't it, really? And yeah, 24 goals scored all told this round, maybe more to come yet. Berenguer's cross, and Jamie McLaren, normally he only needs one chance. And I reckon that's the first clear-cut one he's had all afternoon, but he couldn't take it.
Well, we spoke about Jamie McLaren and how he can have a quiet afternoon but still step up in those moments, and all that is shy of that post, and that would have been some restart to this match this afternoon, and perhaps just what Jamie Maclaren needs.
O'Neill. This is like a training ground drill at the moment for City. Berenguer with a little bit of invention. And Nick Ansell with a bit of a miscue, but it turns out all right for the Reds. Over the top it goes for a corner.
Well, Ansell looks back at the grass like that ball might have caught a bubble. Really good bit of individual skill there.
They've earned this corner. Berenguer's delivery, and it's just wide. Inches.
It's getting closer for Jamie Maclaren. The delivery from Berenguer was good, and they've risen well.
Boss on the left. Skips clear of Lopez. Fires in the cross. Oh, that should have been the equaliser for Andrew Nabbout. And he misses from point-blank range.
What a chance, a golden opportunity for Melbourne City. Fashioned really well by Jordan Boss once more, taking on his player. The ball in.
Might have been a hint of offside.
May have just drifted into an offside position, but nonetheless a prime opportunity.
And to coin a phrase, that was a Boss cross. Boss still going. Jordan Boss, and still, is there a trip? Penalty. Popovic dangled out the leg, and Adam Kersey was perfectly placed to see that there was contact, and points to the penalty spot. And City, as we tick over into stoppage time, have a lifeline.
Well, it was a dazzling run in by Jordan Boss. How many times this afternoon and across the season have we seen him do this? And Popovic, it's just the slightest of touches, but it's enough.
Can he rescue a point for the league leaders? Maclaren, Gauci gets the right way, but Maclaren scores, and it's another milestone for J-Mac as he moves into fourth place past John Cosmina on the all-time National League scoring list with goal number 134. And that's how it arrived, and that's how it was dispatched. Gauci got a hand to it, but could not keep it out.
Well, on the Harvey Norman replay, Jamie Maclaren, how many times have we seen this player step up with the weight of pressure on his shoulders?
The cross needs to come in soon. Too late. All over. Groans of disappointment for the home fans. But a super game of football, overshadowed, it must be said, by a horrible injury to Juande of Adelaide United. It's a third consecutive draw for Melbourne City. What a game, what a weekend in the Isuzu Ute A-League men's competition. 25 goals in total, 6 today, equally shared. Melbourne City 3, Adelaide United 3.